Three, two, one. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 657. I am Brian Kilby. With me this week, we also have Matt, Lean Mean Fighting Marine.
Yo, Matt.
Well, I mean, at least the mean fighting Marine part, you probably got about right.
There's Diecast.
Hey, everybody.
Don.
Hello.
Rob. Clay. Never mind. Okay. Hey, so we got a date now. Our Toy Fair live stream will take place. It's the biggest thing we do all year. February 22nd. It's happening February 22nd. It's not Valentine's Day weekend, so
that's
significant
late.
others rejoice.
That is late this year.
I know.
What day is that? Saturday?
Saturday. Well, it's always on Saturday.
Yes,
Okay.
just like it's been for the last 10 years when we've been doing this, Don,
this is
even
our
though you
11th
were only
one,
here
isn't it?
for like 7 of them.
Or 10th. I think it's our 11th.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry.
11,
For some reason,
yeah.
I thought it was the Friday before the Saturday.
No,
Sorry.
Don. No. We'll be, just like every year, we'll be doing it live starting about 12 Eastern time. This year, I know Chris hates this idea. Matt, too, I think.
Yeah.
But toward the end of the, like the last half hour or so, maybe last hour, I really want to take calls. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it'll work out.
It's fine. I have 5 weeks to figure out how to sabotage this.
Yes, okay, good.
And hopefully, Hasbro, if you're listening, I'll be there live. Hopefully.
Cool. If not, it'll be nice to have you on the stream. We haven't had you.
Well, now, let's not go crazy here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Diecast, stop turning the Hasbro submarines upside down. That just gets everybody in trouble.
Yeah, they don't like that.
I did not. I asked, and he said we could not.
Oh,
Well, now you know. Knowing is half the battle.
But I am still asking for my Megatron submarine, and if that happens, if that is the Earthrise Voyager Megatron, if that is a submarine, I will. I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably die.
Yeah,
Well done.
here's a hint. It won't be.
yeah.
Well, what are they going to do? Another tank? I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we'll actually see that Megatron at the show. So
There's a good
Yeah.
chance, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that doesn't get leaked.
Or we'll see it on like Gizmodo or Ain't It Cool News or something.
Shut your mouth, please.
They'll have a
Collider.
few days early. It'll be on something awful.
Kotaku. Yeah. So actually on the 29th of this month, we are doing something new. It's going to be our monthly Patreon Q&A. And Pete, you can always ask questions. People can always send you questions or to contact at tfradio.net, but we have a vehicle for patrons to ask questions. We're going to answer them monthly on the show. That'll be on the 29th, which is in 2 weeks. Also, if you sign up for a Patreon at patreon.com/tfradio, or you up your tier during the live stream, if I catch it, I will give you a shout out on the show. Patreon.com/tfradio. Also, gosh, I need to look this up because I will forget what I have on here. But we'll figure it out along the way. I'm doing some contests. It's a joint promotion between Brian Kilby and Radio Free Cybertron. It's very tight, cohesive there, but it's going to be a Twitter contest. It'll be a follow and retweet. For both accounts at bkilby and at tfradio. So I'm giving a few things away. We recently gave away a bunch of third-party stuff. Colby, whenever I send him a package, and I'm still catching up on stuff that I missed to send him before, I put the cheese CEO or the cheese captain or something on it. But Colby on Twitter, he got his package a couple days ago. And honestly, the stuff looks better at his house than it does in mine. So I'm glad he got it.
He probably got it transformed correctly.
Yeah. I think I did send him Sun. I think Sun Surge wasn't that, so I think it was.
Good luck on that one, buddy.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, Sun Surge was squarely Matt's fault.
Yeah. No.
I
Because Matt just gave
I could have
up.
finished that. I could have finished that if Brian would have let me.
Oh,
You could have finished that if we would have been there an extra 3 days. Yes.
He was close. He was really close. But I'm doing another giveaway. So I'm going to do 4 individual ones. One's going to be Gundog. And that's what Make Toys, right? The remaster. Yes, yep. Make Toys. Which is it not?
No, it is. It's just, I'm just very sorry to hear you getting rid of Gundog.
I don't need it. I have Hound. I have Masterpiece Hound. I don't need it. So
and from what I've heard, that may not be a good upgrade.
Don, can we please?
But, I quite like Masterpiece Hound, Don.
Yeah, but I'm giving away Gundog. I'm also giving away Maniac King. It's the animation color version. I am giving away. Hasbro sent me one, and I didn't need it, so I'm going to give away Throne of the Primes. And I'm also giving away a big box of stuff. Again, I'm trying to clear out space out of my office. The big box of stuff includes, it's got Power of the Primes Inferno in it. It's got a Beachcomber. It's got some Micromasters. There's just a ton of things in that box. It'll be on Twitter. Oops, I'm just knocking stuff over trying to pull it up. It's going to be on Twitter starting Thursday, the 16th of January. Let's see. I'm actually real quick going to just look that up because I just posted that like yesterday. I want to make sure it gets covered. Right here. Okay, so what's in the box? A couple bot sets. So a couple of bots. The little Metals Diecast Optimus Prime, the G1 toy. Ratchet, the Walgreens exclusive Ratchet. Beachcomber from Power of the Primes, and some of the Dollar Tree G1 bag clipper things. So quite a few toys. I'm giving all that away. So you'll need to follow at BKilby and at TF Radio and retweet when you see it for a chance to win. A lot of stuff there. And please take the stuff. Take it out of my house.
So I want to call this out because Spider Rob made a really interesting reference. Brian should do a Win Ben Stein's Money style episode to give away his toys.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I'm just amazed anybody remembers Win Ben Stein's Money.
You could win my toys.
It should be the Happy Day at Radio Free Cybertron promotions.
It could be. That would be fun. So at BKilby and at TF Radio. Okay, what else? One more thing. Also, Rob Springer posted the new episode of Transform Squadron for January. New Year's Evil is the episode. It's episode 17. Check that out. I think that's all that I needed to cover up. Ronnie, anybody have anything they want to go talk about before we jump to what we got this week? No? Okay. Who got something?
I got a few things.
Okay, Chris first.
I'll start with a couple off-topic things because they came as birthday gifts off of the Amazon wish list, tfradio.net/Chris list. My birthday's this weekend, actually, so there's still time if you want to send me something.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
44?
No, I'm not Don. So from my friend Al on Twitter, I got the Eaglemoss runabout. It's the Orinoco because like almost all of the runabout merchandise appears to be the Orinoco for reasons I cannot discern, but it just has kind of turned out that way. So this is a smaller one. There's the XL version too, which is I guess like 8 or 9 inches long and also costs almost $100. But like this one, I think if I were to get like a Playmates Starship Defiant, it would probably scale pretty decently with that. Like it's a nice size for a little shuttlecraft. It's also like really heavy too for the size that it is. I'm pretty impressed with that. The most surprising thing to me though is I can't find any like meaningful quality control defects on this like I've had with literally every other Eaglemoss ship that I've gotten. So that's a really pleasant surprise, especially for a birthday present.
And it's almost to scale with that episode where they shrunk Runabout.
Yeah, because in the dialogue of the episode, they said that the runabout was like 4 inches long, and that's about what this is. I was reading some of the background information related to that, and apparently the shooting model they used to make the episode had to be about 6 inches long to get the detail level where they needed it. But yeah, if you go by what the script actually says, this is probably a 1-to-1 scale, one little ship.
Hey, Chris, is the thing on top accurate to the model, or is that one of those? Because I don't remember them ever having that unless it was like a
The
specially.
Yeah, the
sensor
rollbar
array
thing was always the rollbar thing was always the secondary runabout add-on, and I'm pretty sure the Orinoco did have that. I think in every appearance, actually. What's actually
there were two or three runabouts that had them, and I think they all got destroyed.
Yeah, because I mean, it was the same secondary model. They just put different labels on it as they ran through runabouts. What was actually inaccurate is the Playmates runabout, which I just happen to have here. This is also the Orinoco, but you can see there's no sensor cluster on top. So good job on that, Playmates. You know, the thing I realized about this too, if Repro Labels wanted to get, or Toy Hacks wanted to get into the Star Trek label business, they could totally make just some replacement runabout labels, and you could make one of these be any accurate runabout you want it to be.
And battle damage.
Because all the markings are stickers on there. I'm sure there's, big business for that. Of course there might be, because, like, you can get the Star Trek stuff pretty cheap these days, sometimes even in box. McKay's decent comic book store finds. I'll talk about that in a minute, too. So also for my birthday, some asshole sent me an old doorstop.
What is this?
What a jerk.
Okay, so what's actually inside, which Diecast was trying to figure out on Twitter when I posted this yesterday.
Yeah.
So what this actually is the Super Mini Claw Kakuri Daishogun, or Ninja Megazord, depending. It's actually the Ninja Mega Falcon Zord, but they had to put Tsubasa Maru on the back of it.
Ooh, the box looks so much bigger in the photo. I was like, that thing looks huge.
I mean, it's a good sized box.
They were
here it is next to my head for comparison.
Yeah, I thought it was like the size of like not the Creo, the Mega Blocks, like USS Enterprise, like that size.
Oh dear God, no.
That thing's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. So thank you for that, Matt.
Not a problem. Whenever you put that together, I think you're going to find that the head is incredibly tiny. Like it almost looks like they designed the head first and then blew the rest of the thing up about 70%.
Oops.
It's a tiny head, and it's just really weird looking. But other than that, it's a great set. Have fun putting those little red wingtips on Tsubasa Maru, by the way.
Does Galaxy Mega have that small head problem?
No.
Okay, I haven't got around to building that yet either. So, okay, so that's more backlog. So let's see. Earlier this week, I spent the day with Hey Mickey. We hit a bunch of targets, and I found one that had these Mega Construx Halo. I think these are the third version now, the Cyclops exosuits.
Oh, I love those.
This was marked down to $10, which I believe is half price.
Nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah, so this will also go into the to-be-built-later backlog. And then I've got, the comic book store find. The Playmate Star Trek Generations Klingon Bird of Prey.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so this was $25. It's 100% complete. It has the box, all packaging, even the used sticker sheet where the labels had been applied from. And it's actually slightly more than 100% complete because inside the box was the original purchase receipt for the toy from November of 1994.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
I can tell you for a fact that it came from a Walmart in South Carolina, and it was purchased with a video game magazine and a bottle of antacids. I also
video
have
games will do that. Do you know what game it was? Because that might explain.
No, video game magazine.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I also
game fan at that. Jeez.
They were stuck on a level at that point.
yeah. I could also tell you someone's complete Visa number from the mid '90s because
on
at
the
that time
receipt?
Yeah, the law had not been passed at that time that all but the last 4 digits had to be obscured. So
Wow.
yeah, it's just printed on that receipt.
I'd forgotten about that. That's crazy.
Which, if this was 1995, that would be a major problem for that person. But since that card's long since expired, it's more just an interesting novelty. But yeah, that's all I got this week.
Matt, what'd you get?
Not a lot, but my Walmart did put out new Mecha Construx figures, which I had thought that they stopped carrying those, but they put out the new Masters of the Universe wave, so I got Prince Adam.
Oh, you asshole!
Nice.
Did you pick me up any?
Is the vest flocked
No.
or
And
cloth?
And I got
Stratos.
I got Stratos.
Nice.
And this is it looks like they reversed the red and the blues on this deco.
Oh,
Like yeah. From I think it was wave 5 I never found.
I think I've got that Stratos.
And Mossman.
Oh, is he flocked?
And no, the San Diego Comic-Con version was flocked. The standard is sadly not flocked.
yeah, that came with the the bone vehicle thing.
Yeah,
Right.
Battle Bones or
Yeah,
whatever.
that.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah,
Don.
yeah.
You're missing your opportunity. You were supposed to say, well, what the flock?
Yeah. Well, no, I
No,
mean, no, I was just thinking here, remembering the Masters of the Universe Classics arguments when they came out with that, and they were debating on flock versus sculpted, and that was a big thing at the
We
time.
got both.
Yeah. So there are 5 figures in the box. Like it's a pretty big case too. I can't tell you how many of each individual figure are in there, but it holds the Prince Adam, Mossman, Stratos, and repaints of Skeletor and Evelyn. Just to get them out there.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, I didn't much care for the repaint, so I left those. But I did pick up a second Mossman, so I could take his head and hands off and put him on one of my extra Star Trek bodies.
Yes.
So, sadly, I
Yes.
do not have any spare Next Generations bodies, so he
Yeah,
can't
I've
go with
ordered
my
all those for
Commander
myself.
Beastman. Yeah, with Commander Beastman, I need them to do more Star Trek stuff, so I can have a Dr. Mossman. I need a blue uniform.
That would be wonderful.
Oh.
Yes.
Although Dr. Beastman would be funnier.
But I already have Commander Beastman, so I need
Yeah, I
Dr.
know.
Mossman to go with him.
Dr.
Yeah, I
Beastman,
know,
MD.
But no, that's all I got this week. It was pretty slim pickings.
Who else? Diecast?
Yep.
What'd you get?
First thing I got was the Fans Hobby God Bomber,
God Bomber.
Yes.
and man,
That's a God Bomber.
it's a little chunky guy. Yeah, I haven't transformed him yet. I just got him out of the box. Fans Hobby is usually like on top of their game. The one thing I noticed right on where the wing tabs in on the sides, I got some stress marks because the hole wasn't cut big enough. So it's more prevalent on the right side than the left side. But it is something that I was kind of shocked with them. But yeah, it seems really nice. It's got the opening compartment. The headpieces were the heads that I posted on Twitter at Diecast 2, which I was going, what are these names? Shoot,
Oh,
because I kind of wanted to
I
see.
was wondering where those came from.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, they came from
Oh.
this.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to see some funny stuff. So a couple people said Larry Moe and Curly. That made me smile.
Yeah,
Minerva Shooter and
I
Snap.
got what you were going for. You were asking people to name them, and everybody just told you the Master Force.
Wrong
names.
answer. Answers
He
only.
just wanted to know the actual names.
Well, it was kind of both. I kind of didn't know and didn't feel like looking it up. And although I thought the one was Minerva, it looked very Minerva-esque. And the other one looks like Ghost Shooter or, that sort of thing. But yeah, I was kind of curious. So I got this. This was the first round of crazy Taobao purchases when I went kind of crazy last.
What do the
week
heads
or
go
two.
with?
The heads sit inside here.
But are they they transform, right?
Yeah, they transform into the little guys.
But do they connect to Titan's return figures, or what do they connect to?
Well, they have a Minerva coming out, so I'm
But
assuming that
presumably
head.
that'll come with its own head.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm assuming it might be slightly different, and maybe we got a choice. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's a thing that because they're doing Minerva, maybe they're going to do these other
Yeah,
two.
maybe
They probably will.
It's leading into a Master Force line,
Yeah,
and these will just be alternate faces or
Yeah,
Oh, boy,
maybe
just
toy
wait,
versus
wait.
animation.
Yeah, toy. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be
Just-
a mess.
Just wait until Fans Hobby starts in on their Seacons.
yeah.
Like if the Make Toys, like the remaster headmasters, hadn't been so ginormous, I probably would have picked those up. But they were just way too big. Like the upcoming Minerva just looks perfect.
It's great size too. Yeah. You guys are gonna love this. It's a little mohawk.
Oh,
It's
okay.
yeah. So he was one of the more interesting characters in that Transformers movie that was the last night. The last one. I don't know.
I kind of
Well,
forgot he
like
existed.
Yeah,
should've been called the last
but
one.
he's a cool little dude. He's fun. He turns into a motorcycle. So he was a little hard to transform for the first time, but kind of figure it out. So the engineering's really good on it. And other than that, I got this little kitty right here, which is the MMC, and he goes with the Megatron. So he's got extra pieces for Megatron. He's got like a gun.
Oh yeah, that's okay. So it's Mastermind's Ravage that can also sort of be Beast Wars Ravage because it can pose standing up.
Oh, cool.
Yes, yeah. And it comes with pieces for their MMC Megatron. So that was it.
How much was that?
Ooh.
Ish. Like what's recommended
800.
retail price on that?
You know what? I'm not sure. I paid in yuan, so it's difficult.
I don't know. Like almost every time Diecast has a bunch of stuff that he got from Taobao, I will invariably ask him how much one thing was. He's never able to answer. I don't know why I have not learned yet to not even bother asking him how much something costs.
For the
And then-
record, 800 yuan is about $116.
That's kind of a lot.
Probably less than that.
I would hope so,
Hopefully.
Diecast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also got Energon cubes off Taobao, which I will not put in my mouth because they may kill me. But they make really nice little Energon cubes.
Okay.
Anything that size you put in your mouth could potentially kill you just based on a choking hazard.
Well, it's probably, who knows what it's manufactured with, so.
Plastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably in there enough that it'll just eventually pass and not do any real harm.
Plastic provided by the lowest bidder that has to pass no safety regulations whatsoever. No big.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm
Exactly.
sure it's fine. We should probably think about adding a Patreon tier for will Diecast eat it?
Oh,
Yeah. Well, Diecast roll a Constitution check.
But yeah, that's all I got so far. But I'd stay tuned because it's going to get pretty crazy up in this
boy.
About to
Taobao.
get wild.
God.
crazy section of time I went through.
Cool. Don, did you get
Okay.
anything?
I got Jack and Squat.
Okay, good.
'Cause-
Rob?
Yeah.
I got a pack of bots at Ross for like $5.
Nice.
It's I forget the name of the seasonal group, but my favorites out of
Breeders.
Seasoned as Greeters. Thank you. My favorite two out of the package are Halloween Night and Latte Spice World. Those are just the nicest ones out of the bunch. I mean, Halloween Night.
I assume Latte Spice World is a repaint of the coffee maker from Series 2.
It's a coffee cup, actually.
Oh, okay, so that is a different one.
Yeah, it's got a nice little face design. I like the transformation. Halloween Night, I like the transformation and just the look of it in both modes, despite the fact that you have to take the top and face off of the jack-o'-lantern to transform it and put it on the shoulder as a shield.
I like that.
If this is going to be dumb. If it were just the top, I'd be more okay with it because you take the top off of Jack-o'-lantern typically. It's the fact that the face comes with it that just it's a minor thing, but it's a bot. I'm not going to critique it too heavily here. It's adorable and I like it.
I went
Especially
through
for
all my
$5 for a
bots last
5-pack.
Yeah.
I went through all my bots last night, and I don't remember those, so maybe I need to go back and find them. Were those
I got them at Ross, so
Series
take a
3,
look.
I think.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, and wasn't there an article where some of Rosses were getting like masterpiece movie Bumblebee for like $30?
Yeah, I wrote that and took the pictures for it because I found those myself.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
Everybody has better Rosses than I do, but I'm happy to have at least found the bot
believe
bots.
me, this was an outlier situation for me. Finding a movie masterpiece Bumblebee for $25.
I never go to
Did you
bots.
buy it?
Yeah, I bought it.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Yeah, because it's actually a decent masterpiece figure.
Yeah, it's sitting somewhere over in the pile. I'll probably open it eventually when I need something to make me feel less bad about myself.
Cool. Anything else, Rob?
No, that's it.
Okay, so let's see here. Let me see if I can how long it'll take me to rush through this stuff. First, I really want to thank Brian Cooper on Twitter for sending me this because I've not been able to find these. I love them. He found the what is it, 6 of them? Yeah, the set of little minifigures from Dollar Tree. So I've been able to find the bag clips, but not the little minifigures. And when you think Dollar Tree and you think stuff like this, you have pretty low expectations. They're nice. I mean, they don't move or anything, but as far as little figurines go, I mean, they have killer likenesses.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Grimlock is like twice as big as the rest. But the paint on them is solid. I mean, I don't know if people watching the video, I don't know if you can tell, but like
That's more paint than we usually get on
yeah,
some
it's more
things.
paint than you get on like deluxe figures. They're nice. I totally dig these. It'll be nice to see how they go with Unicron when that finally comes out.
Ooh,
that's a
so
good
they're
idea.
at Dollar Tree?
Dollar Tree.
I'm going to have to stop at a Dollar Tree.
They're awesome. Yeah, I was very pleased with these. Thank you. Very much appreciate that. That was awesome.
If anyone finds them, I'd be happy to PayPal someone some money to send them
Oh yeah,
to
I'm
me.
like I'll pay you. It's like no, well, thank you. I don't like getting stuff for free. I know that's weird, but I don't. Unless Hasbro sends it, and I appreciate it. But
I'd be happy to pay for it just because it's hard for me to get time to go to the store
yeah, I get it.
lately.
I know the feeling.
On the odd occasion, somebody does, reach out with an offer like that. Like, I try really hard to be like, at least let me pay you for the postage to do this if I can't give you anything else. I mean, at least that much we could do.
Yeah.
I'm at a point in my life.
We got
where-
some awesome fans, I gotta say.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm at a point in my life
Absolutely.
though where I've hit that point where I prefer giving than receiving. I know it's weird. People like you think that's BS, but like I really am. So a podcast I really love recently, funny enough, was talking about doing something like, hey, I'll send it to you. So at least I'm kind of paying it forward to another podcaster, but it is what it is. Don was talking about Landcross, or as Don still lovingly puts it, Landcloss, a couple weeks ago. And I had forgotten that they did a reissue of Landcross. And I'm like, that's going to be much less expensive to buy than it would be to, than to get the original set. It's not like hugely different, but it is cheaper.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do it piecemeal. So the first one I got is a Tackle, the little orange truck. So I got Tackle. I only have 5 left. So we'll get that. My local Target, not my local Target. I did another tour to Targets this weekend.
Tour to Target.
Toured the Targets, and I found that Quintesson set.
Ooh, how is the Quintesson?
Yeah, it's okay. It's a Cyberverse toy.
Yeah, I saw that set finally in person. I had seen the Hot Rod and Sharkticons previously, and yeah, that Quintesson definitely looks better in pictures than it does in person. But I have to admit, I was playing with one in the package for a couple minutes, and the head change, the head swap feature is actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it is.
If that turns up on clearance down the line for under $15, I would say I might pick one up unless we see the Generations one in the meantime, and it ends up having the same kind of face swap gimmick.
There you go.
Yeah, I want to see what the Generations figure has to offer first.
Yeah. Well, that's what I say. If this goes on clearance, I would strongly consider it either way, just for extras.
How much is that set at Target? Like
30.
$20? Oh, it's 30. Okay.
Yeah, Hot Rod and Sharkticons is 20, and this is 30.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else? I had this on my pile of loot forever. I had them all pre-ordered but canceled. I probably won't change that. Maybe I will. I don't know. But the Super 7 Optimus Prime, the reaction figure. I don't hate it. Again, I think something I was talking to... I'll talk about that in a second. So the Rob and I were talking about this, I think maybe post-show last week, and he's like, he doesn't like the reaction stuff, and I didn't either, but it's almost become like an art form, to where it's like, if they can do something clever within the constraints that they've set for themselves, I find it novel, and I dig it. It's not bad. It's not worth $20, but it's not bad.
I love the package art on that.
Yeah.
I love, that's kind of, it's kind of like hitting that GoBot vibe for me. Like, it's more the package as artwork than it is the toy inside in some case.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and that's the beauty and also the kind of galling thing about those reaction figures. Like, they're not meant to be toys; they are meant to be wall hangers.
Yeah.
In somebody's office or at somebody's desk at work. They're meant to never be opened. They're supposed to just hang on your wall and look pretty in the packaging. That's why the package art is so nice on those.
Yeah, exactly right. Every single one I have is still in the package. It's going to stay that way.
And if they were $5 each, I'd probably have one or two of something that just amuses me. But like, for what reaction figures actually cost, I ain't doing that.
I have Blue Demon of Santo and Blue Demon fame. I have a couple of Planet of the Apes figures. I have a Ted Williams, and I have that. That's my collection.
I would have Golden Girls hanging on my wall if they were cheap.
Yeah. God, I had those in my cart.
So that's just the kind of person I am.
I backed out on them. So when I was at Target, I also got the Cyberverse Deluxe Optimus Prime. I like it. I don't know if I like it better than Bumblebee. Maybe I do. But it's definitely better than Megatron in Shockwave.
Hey, Mickey and I were surprised to not find any of those in our travels on Monday. I was admittedly a little disappointed. Like, I didn't necessarily want to buy one, but they sound like they're pretty good, and I may well have impulse bought a Bumblebee if I'd seen it. I'm kind of disappointed.
So it's weird to me to say this, but it's just the way it is. I got, they're saying in the box, and there's no reason for me to open them, the 35th anniversary Optimus Prime and Convoy figures. So the Studio Series 38 Optimus and the G1 Optimus in Zother Takara. They're both in the Super Robot Lifeform packaging, I guess. Both numbered 01. But, I can't really show them on video, but you know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot I had them pre-ordered.
Oops.
I thought they were in a joined box, like a gift set.
Well, they ship together, but they are
together.
individual packages.
Okay.
Like, you could only buy them as a set together, but they weren't in like one big retail package.
Okay.
Something Rob reminded me of, the Transformers, or actually I guess it's the Mazinger Z versus Transformers comic came out. It's beautiful. I wish it was in English. Obviously it's not. But it's gorgeous. I love it. Hopefully someday they'll translate it and I can actually read the story. So, next to last, I've been talking about this forever. There was a sad trombone with this, but I recovered.
Dark Convoy again?
Almost. It's just exactly the same thing. It's the MP36 Megatron. Of course, it's the one that
looks so nice.
It's the plus version, the toy accurate one.
Hey guys, T9, please. I know, T9. I'll be right back with you. MP36 Plus is it's
that does look nice.
gorgeous. It's never getting transformed, ever.
I wouldn't. No.
It's in the box. So the problem is, I guess with my Megatron that I got, my MP36, came straight from Japan, no orange plug. The Despotron that I got, that Colby now has, the plug, I was just able to take my thumb and forefinger and pull it out. This one was glued.
Ooh.
And I didn't know that.
Oh.
And Spider Bob, I think it was Spider Bob, said, hey, why didn't you use a heat gun? I have a heat gun. And I would rather risk ripping this out than melting it like I would with a heat gun. So I worked hard to get it out. And it caused a little bit of damage, and you can still see like paint marks and stuff in it. I scraped it a little bit around the barrel, and it left some marks. It's not noticeable in robot mode. But a major thing that happened, though, the barrel, the piece here, on the back of the barrel where it connects to the metal piece, completely sheared off.
Oh.
That was frustrating in getting it off, but I saw there's a little itty bitty hole in it, and I knew reattaching it, and I'm going to keep it forever. It's never going anywhere. It's just a piece of. I don't even know how the thing really connects. I guess I don't even know how they made it work, but I just put a little screw in it, and I don't know if you can see the screw. It's the perfect size.
Oh yeah,
hole.
yeah.
And if you didn't know that screw was a Brian Kilby aftermarket special, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, you're right.
So
actually, now that the picture came in, folks, it actually does look almost factory original. So yeah, not too bad.
Literally don't care. So there's the barrel scuffed up a little bit. I would rather they hadn't glued it in. I'd rather it been held in with like friction where I could just pull it out, with some force. But it was glued in. I didn't realize that they glued it in. The Despotron that I had, and I don't remember who I bought it from, but Despotron wasn't glued in. So not complaining. I mean, they have to, follow safety standards. But my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, and technically the ones that are not gluing those caps in or otherwise permanently fixing them are not complying with the law, so...
Yeah.
More convenient for the collector, but, that can come back to them.
Okay, so I have a new friend.
Is it a Teddy Ruxpin?
Kind of. So his name is, he's from Robosen T9. This was a Kickstarter. There's a funny little story with this guy. So remember that Optimus Prime that I bought that was supposed to transform?
Yeah.
From China?
Speaking of sad trombones.
This is that. That was a prototype for this. So that was a prototype of the Kickstarter for this thing here that they, to sell it, they obviously didn't make it Optimus Prime. Gosh, I'm afraid to have it transform in my hands because it'll probably pinch me and hurt. Well, let's do it. So let's see. Let's see how dangerous. I've gotten health insurance.
How much was that? That thing is awesome.
Let me show video. I'll talk about that here in a second. So people watching.
Yeah,
live.
I saw your video on Twitter, but I didn't know it was actually your video.
Oh yeah, that's my office. So there he is. He's dancing. It dances. It transforms. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. Let's see here.
Can you control it? Like, does it have a remote?
With the app. With an app. You can drive it around and stuff. Hold on. This will probably pinch me, but I'm stupid. Hey, T9. I'm here. Transform. It'll transform. It'll do it in place too. Oh, he's doing it again.
Oh, you said it twice.
Oh, it's gonna pinch me. Oh crap.
Beast mode.
Yes. Let me turn him off. It's impressive. So it's really a learning toy. It's meant to teach your kids programming and stuff. But when I figured out that this is the thing that Optimus Prime was the prototype of, and I'll be honest with you, the video that they had on the page sold me because it had the kid sleeping with it. And then the dad, while the kid was asleep, went and got it out of his bed and took it to the living room and had it transform. And I'm like, God, that could be me and my kids. I could steal this from them. So,
So you said it's a learning toy to teach programming. Like, what can you do with? Like, what's the potential with that with its programming language?
you can have it like change. Like, I don't know if you can like embed like audio or anything like that, but at least you can change what it moves. Like, I guess the dance, like actions that it takes. And
Interesting.
it was $500, so it was not cheap.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's definitely not cheap, but somehow I was expecting you to name a higher number than that. So, well done.
Yeah, so that's my birthday present to myself. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay myself back. So, yeah, I was pretty happy with it. Yeah, but I like it. It's pretty amazing. Now it's just gonna sit on the shelf, and it's gonna be like really cute and quaint in 2 years when you can buy the same thing like that at Walmart for $30. You won't be able to buy it for $30.
No.
But,
No, you might be able to go to like FAO Schwartz and get it for $150 though.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's got amazing heft. I mean, it's heavy. I think
It looks big.
Yeah, it's got like 22 servo motors in it. It's pretty amazing. So I really want to take some time and document it, get video and photos and stuff and post it out there. But yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Rodimus Supreme correctly points out not much less than Unicron. Well, if Unicron would transform by itself on voice command, I would start to think Unicron's more worth what they were asking for it too.
Yeah, this will dance. It'll shoot. It's got sound effects. It does a
Who
lot of
wouldn't
crazy
want a
stuff.
dancing Unicron? I mean,
I would buy that. Yeah. So, yeah, I haven't installed the app yet to do the remote control stuff, but I'll do that later. It's got Bluetooth. It's pretty impressive. So, okay, I'm done.
Later wants to know if you can get your home assistant that I can't name for consideration for our listeners to tell T9 to transform.
I bet you could.
Probably.
Yeah. So let's see here.
Stupid T9 tricks coming soon to BrianKilby.com.
So what I really feel like is Uncle Paulie from Rocky IV, where he has that robot assistant in his house. I'm like, just like, close to that, but looking at it, I'm really more afraid of it than anything. It reminds me of the little monster thing in the movie Cat's Eye that like, tries to kill the little girl at the end. That's kind of what I feel about it when I see it. The one that gets blown in through the fan.
Daltinian has the best idea in the chat.
What?
He wants a Unicron that eats coffee beans and brews coffee.
Oh my God.
That's perfect.
That is perfect. Okay, let's jump to the news. So, the poster, banner, photo, graphic, whatever you want to call it, from Hasbro's event on February 22nd popped up. Interesting things on it. We know that they have the Ghostbusters license, so that they're going to show off Ghostbusters toys. But on it, they also had G.I. Joe. And
G.I. what?
I know.
What's that?
I know. So we
Sounds
heard that
vaguely familiar.
was it Jazzwares? Has licensed G.I. Joe. We talked about that a couple weeks back. And there's a rumor because I haven't seen like the sales sheet, but maybe it's popped up since where there's apparently a case being solicited of G.I. Joe. What is it? Classics or something that comes with a roadblock. Scarlet, Snake
Duke.
Eyes. Yeah, Duke. And Destro.
And Destro.
Are they 6-inch figures?
6 inches.
Nice.
Yeah. So
We've been asking for 6-inch G.I. Joe figures, so that would be awesome.
I mean,
if that's...
in my heart of hearts, I prefer 3 3/4 inches. I would buy, just like always, every single 3 3/4 inch figure they do. I'll probably only buy favorite characters in a 6-inch scale. But 6 inches are probably more marketable than 3 3/4 inch in general. But like, who's going to
for what
This
each
could
would have to cost? Yeah.
What could be happening here is like Hasbro could just be making the 6-inch. Like this could be their Marvel Legends or Power Rangers Lightning Collection line for GI Joe, just whatever they're going to call it. And then Jazzwares could be doing like a main line, smaller figures.
Yeah, I was actually when I got my bots, they had some of the Jazzwares Fortnite figures at Ross. One of the 4-packs down to like $20, and I almost did that because. They are some of the. I got one, and it is one of the best like 4-inch figures I've gotten since the GI Joe line basically folded. So
I've never messed with any, but they all look really well done.
Yeah,
they are amazingly good, especially if you have ever bought a Jazzwares product before.
I've never bought. What did Jazzwares make?
They used to make Mega Man.
Yeah, and by Wave 2, this got passable.
And by Wave 3, they were canceled.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And also with them doing the 6-inch, they're already doing, like Matt said, with like this is their Black Series or their Marvel Legends. So if they use the same size box, they don't have to create a new size box for it.
I mean, if it's Jazzwares selling it, yes, they will, because it'll be all different.
No, I mean the Hasbro version.
If it's Hasbro, yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if it's Hasbro, they can probably share toolings with other toys.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, even if they're not directly sharing any significant number of parts, like they've got all of these systems in place already to produce figures at this scale and complexity. So it kind of makes sense they would roll that investment already into a GI Joe experiment.
But I'm guessing it's not. I'm guessing it's just gonna be that licensed stuff that they're talking about.
Should I be sad or happy that they're doing Destro and not Cobra Commander
I don't
first?
think it matters.
Well, this.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. The first.
I know, but I eventually
Cobra Commander is one of those. Cobra Commander is definitely ones that want. One of the ones that everybody's going to want. So you don't put all those figures in Wave 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to
They
save.
did that with Real American with 25th though, basically, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, see,
I want a Sergeant Slaughter in the 6-inch.
They're not going to do one, but you know what I'm bidding on right now? I'm bidding on a Mattel Sergeant Slaughter from WWE that's also a 6-inch. So I'll have it when those ship. That there's two. I'm trying to figure out which one I want more. I'm bidding on both.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. Besides, GI Joe there's a lot of shared parts as we all know from the 3 3/4-inch line. But there's not a lot of repaint other than Python Patrol and Tiger Force, or you put one of them in Battle Force 2000 if they ever get that far.
They're not.
But Cobra Commander is one of the ones you can insert into a couple of different. You got regular Cobra Commander, you've got hooded Cobra Commander, you've got battle armor Cobra Commander. So he's one of those you can put into multiple waves and it be a different figure. There's not that many other figures in the GI Joe line. Unless they do Tiger Force and Python Patrol outfits.
I just want them to sell enough to sell a couple of waves. I don't think we'll ever get to Tiger Force.
I want this to last long enough for there to be an SDCC exclusive. I want that exclusive to be Cobra Commander dressed as a stereotype 80s used car salesman, but with the hood or the metal mask. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So we're also presuming or assuming or hoping that they're going to do like classic stuff. If they want this stuff to sell, they need to figure out a way to hook kids now and say, screw you old people. We're going to just do something different. But I don't think
they're going to say, I don't think they're going to say, screw you old people, because have you walked down a toy aisle lately?
That's the problem.
Like literally half of everything in there is
that's a problem.
Collector's line.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump to the next news story then that I wanted to talk about. So Target, I guess they just did their quarterly numbers, and I guess it'd be also the year-end numbers. And they were down for toys at Christmas, and which actually made Hasbro and Mattel's stocks tumble in price by at least a few percent. Toys aren't selling at retail.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
that's crazy because my Target, I walked through after Christmas, and the thing was like bare.
Yeah,
well, that was Christmas.
And that who knows? Again, who knows how many waves they went through. It could have just been a poorly merchandised Target. It could have just been a Target that's not, like my Target, not bare. My Target, not at all. Walmart had a couple of things that, were basically emptied out, but I honestly think it was stuff is mostly on clearance. Target clearances aggressively anyway. So I don't know. I don't think it's not good. And
I feel like for any of us who regularly look at toy aisles, this isn't really a surprise because we can see that even if there's empty spaces, it's not because the stuff is selling through really quick. It's because the stores are not putting any priority on refilling those spaces because they're not getting strong sales there. There's not an incentive for them to keep that fresh and up to date. It's definitely falling by the wayside, and that's only a sign of bad performance.
And toys aren't high margin anyway.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's not a high priority category for them. What, Don?
Well, also it's the fact that right now in retail, toys is not a priority. It's because toys has already had its time. So with what manpower most places have, with them already cutting back hours after Christmas, they're not putting those people in toys except if there's a reset, and then they'll restock it. As
I'm talking as a year-round thing, though.
Don.
We can walk through any toy department and know, like, this stuff has not been updated, it hasn't been refilled in weeks or sometimes even months, depending where you're looking, what lines you're looking at. It's not just because it's after Christmas and going into like inventory period. This is a year-round problem.
Yeah. Do you think that Hasbro kind of anticipated this, and that's why Earthrise doesn't start till April instead of coming around in January this time?
Probably.
I mean, that makes sense. I don't know if that would be specifically a motivation for that, but I don't think it hurts anything.
So the article pointed out that the real winner, as far as toys go, in 2019 was Amazon, and as we pointed out before, Amazon does not buy in the volumes that a Target or a Walmart does because they don't have to. So, yeah, and that basically ultimately isn't bad for Amazon. It's bad for Target. It's bad for the people who make the stuff because they are not selling as much, anywhere near as much as they would, if there was a Toys R Us or toys really turning over at retail. So it just kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Hey, use our Amazon link, tfradio.net/Amazon, by the way.
While we're being slightly alarmist about toys, I can drop this anecdote. So our friend Mark Brickinator on Twitter was observing today that Walmart's in his area. He's in Canada, so don't take this as being like a major disaster about to happen. But the Walmarts around him have marked up Voyager and Leader Transformers by $5 each.
Huh.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. This is not unprecedented, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be reflected in the United States, but, Walmart marking up those prices is another sign of they want a better margin on these toys they're selling because they're not getting the throughput they want out of them.
So in the chat, Nathan is pointing out that one thing is kids probably don't play with toys like they did in the past. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And if you can't get your money through turnover, you got to get it by margin. So,
and Toys to Life, as much as anybody tries that, it just never takes off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Disney ended their toy. What was that thing Disney had? That
exactly,
was
Don. I think that's exactly the point.
Yeah.
What was that Toys to Life thing Disney had? So
Disney
anyway,
Infinity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was it.
So moving on.
So let's see here. They're foes of Earthrise Cliffjumper and the Military Patrol.
Actually, this interestingly ties into what we were just talking about, because this is the Takara Tomy releases of Cliffjumper and these Micromasters, and both of them are being sold as Takara Tomy Mall exclusives in Japan.
Oh no!
They are not getting wide retail releases, and so these two now account for everything that we know as Earthrise Wave 1 in Hasbro markets. And exactly half of Takara Tomy's versions of these are being sold as online exclusives only.
That's not good.
Strange.
No, they're only putting half of the line out at actual retail. All the Micromasters are exclusives. Cliffjumper's an exclusive. Battlemaster Sound Barrier is an exclusive, and Grapple is an exclusive. Yeah.
That's
Now,
so weird.
So
these
all of the small toys and one of the Voyagers.
Yeah. And presumably they're making Grapple an exclusive because probably they want to have Inferno be the one to go to general retail because it's a probably more notable character in their estimation.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, that's a Voyager they could repaint a couple of times. We could get, Art Fire.
Yeah.
And what's the green one?
Hauler.
Yeah.
Although that one I wouldn't put out much hope for. It's so obscure.
That'd be a select.
That's something. Yeah, you could maybe get Generation Selects, but again, I think Artfire would come first.
Yeah, I'm betting Generation Selects for Artfire, and they're not going to do a second pass at that. It's so obscure, and if they're already making just normal mainline Generations product, half of it be exclusives online anyway. I don't think we're going to get any deep dives into the well from Takara.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's weird.
This Earthrise is what I've wanted since G1. Like this
it is G1.
On the Hasbro side, it's probably fine. Like I don't think there's anything to really be concerned about right now. It's just an odd move on Takara's part to have literally half the known line so far be sold only through their web store.
Yeah.
If there's any upside, at least they're not doing unique decos like they did in the past, and they're still following through with just using the Hasbro versions in their market without them doing their version like they used to do. So it's not like you were getting a better version of Cliffjumper, but it's only Takara Tomy Mall exclusive.
Of course, Don, that could be part of the problem. Like, now that Takara is just doing Hasbro decos and not making their own versions of these, maybe their local market is not as interested anymore and their sales are slipping, and that's why they're not sending as many.
Because it's not as unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. You're right.
So I actually didn't either until you were just making that point, but that kind of makes some sense too, doesn't it?
The yen is weaker to the dollar right now, though, than it has been historically, isn't it? So...
a tiny bit. The exchange rate's actually been very consistent for the last, I want to say, 3 years.
Yeah,
there's only been very small fluctuations.
But they can probably get their stuff from China through Hasbro Asia, and
I mean, so a lot of the Japanese toy bloggers I follow on Twitter definitely are doing stuff like that, because they do have the stuff out more in line with when we would be getting it rather than waiting for the local Japanese releases. But, I don't think that's representative of the general buyer base in Japan.
No. Let's see here. So we have photos of Earthrise Starscream, new photos. Matt,
I want this. Give me this.
I want this.
Yes,
and
this.
I want the other three.
Give me this in every color there is. Like, and if you can somehow, if you can invent new colors, give it. Give it to me in those as well.
How many deluxe long did they repaint this in? Like
long 19? Have I wanted? I don't know. Long have I wanted a classic Starscream at the Voyager price point. Just repaint the crap out of it.
I know. I'll be honest though, Matt. It doesn't look to my eyes.
Kick him from the call now.
No.
No, you are banished, Dawn. Dawn, no.
To the shadow realm with you.
No, yes.
Shadow realm.
Be gone.
I play Swords of Really Right.
It's a costly mistake, Don.
But I use Pot of Greed. What does it do? I just don't see enough difference between that and the classic Seekers. I know.
Articulation.
I know. It's just.
Okay, Don.
It has ankle tilts and actual feet, Don.
It has bicep swivels, Don.
I know. I'm just saying. I can't see myself getting a lot of these all over again when we just got them in Cybertron, and to me, they're so close using that same skeletal transformation as the classics. I just can't.
Okay, so
it looks like he does the Combiner Wars trick with his legs in some way, shape, or form. Though.
Yeah. So there was official transformation videos released last week, I think, and Starscream was included among that. And it does do a compression kind of like that, where the deluxe toy actually just kind of telescoped the legs.
Yeah.
Which for something of Voyager heft, I wouldn't want to rely on that to support the mass. But like Don, you have to think. For a lot of people, the appearance of classic Starscream, that deluxe from 2006, was basically the perfect Seeker toy because it looked, basically spot on to what you expect Starscream or any of them to look like. The problem
that's why I have like 20 of them between Henkei versions and Chug and knockoffs.
But the problem is, it was designed and engineered coming right off of Transformers Cybertron, which Transformers Cybertron was a fine toy line for its time, don't get me wrong, but like Starscream definitely shows that design lineage in the limitations of what they're doing with it. And it aged probably the most quickly out of any of those original classics toys. Like, it needed an update by the time they were reusing it in Universe 2008.
I might nominate Classics Hot Rod as needing an update more severely, but he's gotten a couple of ones since. So
Yeah.
In the sense that we need a new hot rod or that mold specific. Like, I like that mold. Like, I just got that Henkei version of it, and I really like it.
I mean, it's a good mold, but it aged really quick.
I just wish that we got all the Seekers in Siege, and now we're doing the same thing all over again, starting Wave 1 with
Really? Because
Earthrise.
I don't have a Siege Sunstorm. I don't have a Siege Slipstream.
Or Ramjet, or Thrust, or
Dirge. Yeah.
And honestly, that's why the Starscream exists. I will stake my reputation as toy detective on this. This Starscream exists so they can make Coneheads, but it has to be released as Starscream because anything that can be released as Starscream has to be Starscream first.
I'm fine with that, and I'll be more than happy to get Coneheads, but I need a
Skywarp and Thundercracker.
Skywarp and thank you. My brain is mush.
I'm sure we will get those. I'm sure
they
will get those.
It will happen if it's generation selects. Like they will get those core 3 out.
Yeah.
The thing is,
we'll get a Seekers 2-pack this year instead of a Seekers 3-pack.
We got 7 Seekers. Yeah. We got 7 Seekers
4 months.
So we better at least get 7 Seekers out of this mold.
But
I will be disappointed.
I'd like to if they can.
That's the thing with the classics, the deluxe one. We got so many uses of that, and I know there's no way in hell that we're going to get all of those out of this new Voyager. Yeah, but
half of those uses were from FunPub. So with half those uses being from FunPub, obviously we're not going to get all of those kind of character choices, but I think we'll get enough mileage out of this so that anybody who wants to go all Cybertronian on their Seekers is pretty much set, except for the Coneheads, obviously. And anybody who wants to go Earth forms on their Seekers is also going to be all set. And for those of us who want to, or are happy with mixing and matching, Rainmakers, Red Wing in the one form, and then Earth modes for everybody else, we're probably going to have that option too. It sucks for everybody, all of us here who bought 7 Seekers in the span of 5 months this past year. We're going to have to do it again, but I do like that both forms, both options exist for our particular kind of OCD.
Yeah, John is in our internal chat here raising an excellent point. You've got online retailers who could theoretically, do a repaint version exclusive here and there. Like Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, really anybody could ask for.
Yeah. I mean, look, if with Hasbro owning the rights, they could do a nacelle like what FunPub did there towards the end. They can do cell shading. I mean, I think maybe this Starscream we'll see a cell shaded Starscream.
Yeah, I would like to see that happen.
Yeah, I would like that's going to happen, or you would like to see it happen.
I think it will happen.
I would rather see another unique character done rather than just another Starscream repaint.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Let's get Sunstorm, the Coneheads. Let's get that stuff out of the way first before we go diving into a nacelle or cell shading or Hot Link or whatever.
Right, but I'm just saying they picked Prime and Megatron to do the cell shading for the 35th. Starscream is one of those top tier characters. So if they continue with the cell shading, since they've proven it can work at mass retail, then I'm just saying I think Starscream will be one of the ones that eventually gets the next batch of cell shading, whether it's a store exclusive, a Pulse exclusive, whatever the case may be. But I really think that's what we're going to see.
It's possible that was just a one-off thing because only Megatron and Optimus Prime got that. Sound Blaster.
One-off thing. I don't think.
Yes, Sound Blaster, Blue Streak that came out in the same line didn't get that.
Yeah, it's not. So. I don't think that's going forward. Hey, so okay, moving along. Even though Chris wrote the article, I'm going to go to Mr. Mushbrain and ask him if he wants to tell us what happened with the Unicron update.
Oh, we're going to the Unicron update. Unicron. They showed us how they put the pieces together to make the molds. And
they also showed how they take the initial model apart to actually break it down into those pieces.
Yeah. Some molds get like one piece if it's a big gigantic piece, and then other molds could get 2 or 3 pieces if they're medium or smaller pieces. And yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting what we got because that's the first time we've seen that, or that they've really talked about it. I mean, we've heard rumors about it, how the whole production schedule works, but to actually read a professional article about how it's done is definitely interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty notable because it's one of the most upfront with how the process works official statements they've had with us about how the toys are manufactured. Going as far as showing us the template sheets that represent the molds they're going to cut. People who've gone to like a BotCon custom class, when they bring out the unpainted sprues of the toys, like they would have an idea of what this looks like at that stage of production, but for most people, that's something you've never seen before, and we've got a video showing clips of that right here with screenshots, of course, on TFormers. For anybody who follows along with how the toy design stuff works, it was a really interesting update to get.
Yeah, they were saying this is over. There's the sheets right there if you're watching the video. But they were saying this is over twice the parts count of a Titan class figure.
Yeah, 2 times as many mold elements, somewhere around 60, I think.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Yeah, there's literally hundreds of parts that are going into this Unicron.
That's impressive.
They spent 2 days in Hong Kong with lots of coffee and a team of literally 50 people getting this mold layout work done.
So I hate to go back to this. John's feeding a baby, though, so he can't talk. So he's asking a lot of interesting questions, and I agree with this. When he said, given the increase in size, does that seem low? And honestly, yes. Because basically, as you, double in size, by height and width and everything, that's what you're actually quadrupling in mass, basically. So if you're, if it's that much larger than a Titan class toy, would you expect twice as much or more?
Well, I would expect the load-bearing parts to actually be fewer pieces because you need less points of failure in that. And we could see in the disassembly portion that the torso is few pieces. They're all big, chunky pieces. The lower legs are mostly a big chunk. In some areas, you might expect there to be more parts, and there kind of are because the hands have a bunch of different individual pieces to them because of the complex finger articulation. But for the core mass of the toy, I actually not surprised if it would have fewer distinct parts to it than a Titan class. Yeah. So John is saying that he thinks, just given the scope of this toy, the numbers they're saying don't seem like such an impressive stat.
I think it's impressive.
And I can kind of agree with that.
I like it. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, I also think, there could be, they were saying, one piece could be one mold. So
Yeah.
The more molds, the more cost. So if you have a couple, bigger molds, they could be more
because
expensive.
economizing on this is definitely something that goes with the process they went through laying out these toolings. But some pieces are just so big they are a mold unto themselves because there's no other way to do it.
Yeah.
Diecast.
It was really cool. I got a big charge out of seeing this update.
Yeah.
Diecast. Also, I'm going back to you. Tell us about this sculpture you want.
Oh, so this is Hot Steel Planet Sculpture, unofficial Planet Cybertron crowdfunding project. And this thing actually looks pretty amazing. I mean, it's not a full Cybertron. It's basically half of the Cybertron. So, yeah, that way you can hang it on your wall or something. And I didn't realize how close to Cybertron, I guess, from the movie this looks, because on TFormers, on the article that they put up, they have a picture of Cybertron, which is from the 86 movie, and it is darn near pretty close to what was represented in the movie. So, and the lights on this are pretty amazing. The whole thing glows. I think it's about $145 if you want to crowdfund it, and then I think there's like a $20 or $25 shipping charge. And they need 145,000. Is that correct?
145,000. It's Indiegogo, so they're going to take any money they get.
Oh, they are?
Indiegogo doesn't require that you hit your funding goal to charge people. If you they can turn it on, they can set it to where they'll take any money that's pledged. For Kickstarter, you have to hit a goal to get funded.
Oh, so even if they, in order to hit 145, they would basically need what was it, 1,000? Yeah, about 1,000 people.
It said it was a flexible goal, so I'm assuming that means that can throttle that down if they need to.
Yeah, I think that's obtainable. I mean, there's people out there that did. There's at least 8,000 people who did Unicron, and I think this will be great next to Unicron. I would actually have Unicron post smashing Cybertron, maybe. So I think that would look pretty good.
The problem, Diecast, is the people that got the Unicron don't
are
have
out of money
for this. Yeah,
and you're also giving money to Hasbro instead of some guy on Indiegogo instead of Kickstarter. No offense to Indiegogo, but I've never used it.
I really like it. I think the price is right for what it is. I think the person who did this worked for like 2 years to get this to where it is right now.
It looks really nice.
Yeah,
I don't need it, but it looks really nice.
I really hope it happens.
It looks great. I would like to have one. I'm not going to do it. Hey, but what doesn't look great? New Cyberverse, not new Authentics figures. Chris pointed this out to me before we started streaming. Man, actually these look better than earlier Authentics figures.
Well, Ratchet looks okay.
Ratchet looks okay.
Ooh, I don't know. All I see is red ball joint links. It reminds me of what were those large Transformers figures that were basically like Bionicles?
Authentics? Those things.
Construct
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of that.
Those are better than this.
Yeah, it looks like his shoulders was hurt.
That Soundwave doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look good.
Get a good look at Soundwave's face, and you might consider.
Soundwave.
Yeah, that's where I said it doesn't look good.
So unlike Soundwave looks completely flat. One, the Ratchet is pretty flat, but it fakes it better.
So Ratchet, I think, would not look so flat out of the package because I think the upper arms are turned to the side so it'll fit.
Yeah.
So I think most of the visual problems we're having with it would be resolved just by having it posed the way it's intended to be.
Yeah, but Soundwave, I like the vehicle mode for Soundwave. I mean, I probably would buy that one if I was at a Family Dollar to buy it, but I'm not.
Or Walgreens. Walgreens carries them.
Yeah.
Starscream is just poor Starscream.
Yeah, that's a Titan changer.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
Yeah, he's tall and flat.
He looks like he's some kind of weird robot vampire.
I thought you were going to say robot
Well-
vacuum cleaner, and I'm like, yep.
Yeah, so remember the thing that we traditionally called shampoo bottle toys was the Titan Hero class, and these are just transforming Titan Heroes.
It looks like it should be holding a toothbrush. Is basically.
Well, that'd be a good bonus feature.
Yeah. And Grimlock looks a little, but not much better than Starscream. A little, but not much.
I love that you can see
he's
the
the
robot's
best looking
face.
one of the bunch.
I love that you can see the robot's face sticking out of the dino mode on the package.
You can wear. Oh my gosh, you can.
Uh-huh.
And you can see where the yellow paint doesn't wrap around the torso on the package. And just... Yeah.
Honest.
Like I'm
Yeah.
usually I usually try to stick up to these things for some minor degree because I don't think they're 100% horrible, but this is probably my least favorite Grimlock figure I've seen in a while.
I don't like that Grimlock design either. For an evergreen Grimlock, it's just kind of ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
here-
it definitely wouldn't spruce up your collection.
is that a pun, Don, that I missed? You're grinning
Evergreen.
like a pun.
Evergreen spruce.
Evergreen spruce.
Oh. Yeah.
Aren't you just so sorry you asked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, tfradio.net/Amazon. Hey, it'll help us out. That's how it's the Patreon's awesome. We love our patrons. Right now we're still working. Yeah, I don't know if we ever want to offset and abandon Amazon because Amazon's been great to us. We have a great partnership with Amazon, who doesn't know we exist. But
And that's the way we like it.
what I love is listening to podcasts and they're like, yeah, Amazon is, we have a great partnership with Amazon. But they don't know who you are, and that's the beauty of it. You buy stuff from Amazon, you help us out. Amazon does not get involved. They're not like quality testing our content, saying no, you can't say bad things about that item. We're selling that item. Amazon doesn't care. tfradio.net/Amazon. It'll help us out. Got to pay for the show. It's not cheap.
Is the set with G2 Sideswipe still down to like $36, $37 right now?
Yeah, somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, look that up. tfradio.net/Amazon. Buy toilet paper. You can buy toothpaste. You can buy anything there. It's great.
You can buy me a birthday present.
tfradio.net/ChrisList.
Thank you.
I just bought a high chair today.
For me?
No, for the
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that wasn't on my wish list.
yeah. I used Amazon Warehouse Deal to buy it too. I love Amazon Warehouse Deals.
Yes, I would totally put my child in a high chair that came from Amazon Warehouse Deals. That's a fantastic idea.
It's gonna be fine.
It will. I'm just giving you a
I
hard
know
time.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. tfradio.net/Amazon. Hey, Rob, what's on TFormers this week?
We have got the first photo of the upcoming Flame Toys Furai model Devastator kit, which I'm not sure who designed this one, but it's interesting.
I think it was one of the Studio Trigger people.
Oh yeah, I think
It
you're right.
certainly looks like it.
Yeah.
It's not my style, but good for people who like this.
Yeah, I feel like I'd like it better if the thighs were not purple, but of course, being a model kit, if you feel the same way, that is something you can fix.
Yes.
Y'all remember that Devastator that we saw at TFCon in Chicago a couple years ago? That was like the non-transforming animation style Devastator.
The one came on
Yeah.
a card?
No, it was the.
Yes, that's
yeah.
what he's talking about.
Oh, okay. Okay, it was. I wish that looked more like that. If that makes any sense,
You want the model kit to look more like that toy.
yeah,
is what you're saying.
more like
So
the
something
animation.
completely different.
Well, I mean, I like.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was just a big non-transforming PVC of the animation model.
I would also like this model kit to look like something completely different, Brian. So I'm not gonna give Don a hard time for his point of view here.
I don't
Yeah.
hate it. I don't like it. I don't hate it.
I I have no interest in owning that.
Same here.
It could have been posed better for for another thing.
That's also not uncommon with these Flame Toys kits.
Yeah.
And watch us get this in orange and yellow.
You know,
I wouldn't put it past them.
No, they would do yellow. Or, yeah, they would do the yellow version instead of the orange.
one thing I do think.
No, they
work-
would do orange because you hate it.
Yes. One thing I think would work though, and they're never going to do this because it's not G1. And this isn't either, but like something in this style for like Armada, and I'm specifically thinking about Armada Megatron. I think
Yeah.
I think that would.
Okay.
I think I would buy that.
Armada Scavenger.
Yeah. Just I think that would work.
Sadly, nobody cares about that enough.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't,
Oh, Sideways. We finally get a good Sideways out of that, too.
so
You know,
I'd like
this-
that style. I don't know.
That would, if that was a larger figure, that would fit in with the Make Toys Cross Dimension. I think really well. That stylized look.
It could. I don't think the style really matches, but I kind of see where you're going with that.
Okay. Hey, so new feature. We featured it last week, but now that we're wrapping up near the end of the show, I want to thank our patrons at our $12.99 touched tier. You got the touch. We're going to do that every week. Thank you, Kevin Dorsey. Thank you, Sean Bratton. Thank you, Jacob Owen Lucha. Thank you, Sean Hamilton, the Sean Hamilton of Dawn of the Day fame. Thank you, Jason W. Rye. Thank you, Mike Mallory. Thank you, Jason Hiley. Thank you, Jonathan James. And thank you, Matthew Deadman. You are awesome. And they can also be found at tfradio.net/credits. Hopefully, someday this list will be so long that Chris will get frustrated and tired of me trying to read through it.
I would bet on that happening with Matt first.
Yes, you're right.
I do have an incredibly short temper. Yes.
He does.
And attention span.
Oh, it's amazing how that goes together.
famously short.
But, of course, you can get on that list by going to patreon.com/tfradio. We are also on Twitter at tfradio. Remember, I'm going to have that Twitter contest tomorrow. So if you're listening to this like 3 weeks from now, just missed it by that much. So, but we're also on Facebook at facebook.com/tfradio, on Instagram at tfpodcast, Radio Free Cybertron on YouTube. We're on Roku, Fire TV, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. We're everywhere. I discovered we're on Podbean recently. I got a note that we got a comment on Podbean, and I'm like, how are we on Podbean? I don't even know what Podbean is, but apparently I created a Podbean account years ago. Or on Tumblr. I didn't even mention our Tumblr. Somebody looks at the Tumblr. I don't get it. I am personally on Twitter at bkilby and on Instagram at Brian Kilby. Chris, how do people get a hold of you?
Well, my photography empire can be found all over the place at some variation of Play with Photography.
Yes.
So on social media, I'm at instagram.com/playwithphotography or on Twitter at playwithphotos. Playwithphotography.com is the website where my galleries reside, and sometimes I will get struck with some inspiration and write an article about something because I think it sounds interesting. Hopefully other people do too at some point. If you like the work I do in this field and want to show your support or help me to do more of it, you can contribute through Patreon for as little as $2 per month at patreon.com/playwithphotos. There are higher tiers available with additional rewards available as you go up. Personally, you can follow me on Twitter at ChrisRTXV. Recently, I spent some time espousing on Babylon 5 a bit because I was rewatching the pilot movie for that, which is actually the only part of the series you can watch that does not have the effects in bad quality because they didn't crop this down to 16:9 like they did with the rest of the series. Unfortunately, Babylon 5 The Gathering has pre-series music and the earliest version of all the special effects, and it looks and sounds exactly like a Sega CD game. So, you have some wins, you have some losses there. But if you're into content like that, definitely follow me at ChrisRTXV on Twitter. And as we've mentioned several times, my Amazon wishlist can be found at tfradio.net/chrislist. Thank you to everyone who looks at that or decides to send me a small gift. I appreciate you all a lot. You rock.
I need to go back and look. I didn't see anything like jumped out at me as like something I wanted to get you for your birthday, but I'll check it again.
Well,
Ooh, the Voyager, the complete series on DVD.
Yes, I believe I have that set to low priority, but not as low as Enterprise. Enterprise is the lowest priority.
Aww.
Someone already bought me Star Trek the Animated Series, though, so thank you for that.
Oh, Perfect
nice.
Strangers.
Yes.
Well, Voyager does have Product Chaotica, which is one of the best episodes of the series. So,
Well, that notwithstanding, I have found when I was watching it on Prime Video when it was available, Season 7 of Voyager is actually legitimately not bad, and Season 6 is not terrible either. Like, the series actually picked up some quality as it was getting closer to the end. So, I don't know that I ever would have said that in the past, but having spent some time actually watching the episodes again, like, the last couple seasons worth of episodes, I've probably seen the least out of any Star Trek series, just because the first time watching them, it really did not click for me like, Deep Space Nine or Next Generation would, where those episodes, I've probably literally watched all of them dozens, if not hundreds of times each. Because I have no life and nothing better to do with my time, obviously. But, yeah, Voyager actually gets kind of decent. Now, Enterprise, that can be a drag. Although, I do still think I like what Season 4 was trying to do more than most of the rest of Enterprise. I'm not saying it did what it was trying to do well, but I liked what it was going for with that format,
Yeah,
so now if Brian is done buying something off of Amazon during the show, I'll let him continue with throwing it to the plugs.
The problem when you use the Amazon wish list, you always have to re-enter your credit card information. That's the stumbling block.
Almost, yeah. Almost always, yeah.
Yes. Diecast. How do
But,
people get
but
hold of
hopefully I bought you enough time to actually get through that
you?
process.
I'm close to it. Diecast.
You can get a hold of me on Twitter at Diecast2. You can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast, and you can see my reviews on tfradio.net/reviews.
Cool. Don.
I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR, for bad puns, flash sales, commentary on today's society and animation in general, and whatever random thing enters my head.
Cool. Let's see here, Rob.
I am on Twitter at Figure Reviewers and Rob Flails. Rob Flails is the official Twitter of Flailthroughs, my YouTube channel. I cover Gundam Battle Operation 2, the free-to-play PlayStation 4 Gundam game. And I just got this week's promotional mobile suit, the Garibaldi Beta.
Ooh.
Yes, it's actually very nice. A couple of people in my comments have been kind of down on it, saying it was sluggish, but I do not find this to be the case. It is very capable, and I'm going to have a video of that up on Friday.
Garibaldi's like my favorite Zeta era suit.
It's one of mine too, and it is a lot of fun to use.
I always keep a Garibaldi Beta nearby.
Oh, nice. Yes, I love that design.
Cool.
I thought you said Garibaldi. I thought
That's what I was thinking too.
So years and years and years ago, I did see this mobile suit's name transliterated as the Garibaldi here and there. So that has been a thing in the past, not through like official sources, but people have made that mistake before.
Cool.
Gundam's kind of infamous for its naming problems, but also just to finish up, patreon.com/flailthroughs if you like my YouTube stuff, and my Amazon wish list is at tfradio.net/claylist. My birthday's not for 6 months, but you can beat the shopping rush now.
Cool. Let's see here. John is at that John D everywhere. Rob Springer is at RoboRobSpringer on Twitter and at zonebase.org. And remember, we posted a new episode of the Zonebase podcast, Transform Squadron. Jason Kirk. Jason, he's not on social media anymore.
He's barely even on the internet anymore, as far as we can tell.
Yeah.
He's smarter than we are.
He may be on the Toy Fair live stream. I doubt we'll see him
that'd
before.
be nice.
It would be really nice. Yeah,
I miss
if
that
he could
guy.
make it.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could spend, at least a couple hours with us.
Oh,
on
yeah.
our favorite.
I mean,
You would never get me out of Galaxy's Edge. Like, I would just run and hide in there somewhere.
I don't know that I care to go to that. My buddy Mark was just there a couple weeks ago, and he loved it. But I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel like if I was going to spend the money to go to Orlando, I would probably more want to invest that time and finances at the theme park and not so much the convention.
I didn't enjoy Disney. I really didn't.
Yeah, no, I'm more thinking Universal, where, TF kind of on the doorstep of.
Yeah,
Well,
Universal, I think.
I haven't been there in 25 years or so. So it would be nice to go to Universal again.
I don't really want to go to one of those theme parks in the first place, honestly. So crowded and noisy and
Kim really wants
children.
to go to Legoland.
Well, I mean, that might be fun.
I'll need shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems advisable.
Yeah, I like to go, but
You know what they need?
Budget.
They need a Nerf theme park.
Hasbro would love
Why
that.
isn't that a thing?
Yeah, really.
It just seems like it makes the most sense ever, doesn't it?
Like
It was
like
kind of a thing at HasCon. Like they had that
That was
Nerf
awesome.
area that we went into. Yeah.
kind of like a Nerf American Gladiators kind of setup.
Yes.
That kids could run obstacle courses and be like Nerf, like you would.
Yeah,
shoot
but
like
I mean, screw
Nerf.
the kids. What about the adults like us?
Oh, that's true. Well, adults.
Yeah. What about the giant children like us?
I would like to go myself, but where I work, all my time off resets in February, so I wouldn't have the time anyway. Not without dipping. Yeah, not without dipping into like what I would need for sick time.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Plus, I never can get those cheap fares. Like fly $59. It's like, yeah, but from nowhere around here has them rates.
Yeah, you have to drive like 6 hours to get to your flight.
I was surprised to find recently that a flight from Nashville to New York City would only be about $140 round trip.
That's not bad.
No, I thought that was actually really good. I was expecting it to be
Yeah.
about double that.
And your gas would be more from driving that
Well,
far.
and I mean, think about the time sunk into that drive too. That would be at least a 2-day drive for me.
Well, Blade Raider, myself, and some other folks, we went down to when it was Orlando. It was Orlando BotCon in Orlando, I think, and that was just that was a long drive.
Yeah, no, I mean, like
we've had a great
even
barbecue place though.
Even the length of drive from here to the Chicago area is more than I want to do, at least in a single day anymore. And if I could have the option cheap enough, I would just fly instead.
I drove back from St. Charles in one day, and that killed me.
I've driven back and forth to Chicago like 4 times at this point.
Yeah, but your brain works in a different way than most humans. You're more able to do that.
Driving
Some
to
of us
Dallas
just can't.
by way of Oklahoma City, though, nearly killed me. Actually, driving back
Literally,
to North
yeah.
Carolina from Dallas by way of Oklahoma City nearly killed me.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Like 8 hours is about as much as I want to do driving at a time. Like I find that pretty tolerable, but any time you get over that 8 hour mark, it just becomes torturous.
I drive like 7 hours to work when I make that drive. So, but yeah.
And like during an event weekend, I get so little rest or any kind of quality of rest. It makes it even worse trying to do that drive again. But even the drive to thing has become kind of bad for me.
That's why I always stay like an extra day when the event is over just to get rest for the drive home.
Yeah.
But then of course you have to, pay an extra day on the hotel. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Well, the good thing is a lot of the times the convention rate will cover that Sunday night because it's still part of the convention weekend.
Yeah,
so
but it's still that much more money.
Yeah, but considering it's like 130 versus 400. Because a lot of these places we go, the convention rate is 130 or 150, but the average cost of the room is like $450 a night. So it's like,
So
at least there's
the
that.
convention rate's not that much better. from my experience. And they take out the stuff that you want, like breakfast and crap like that.
You're clipping really badly, Brian.
Sorry, I turned my volume up really loud.
Bad, Brian.
I was being a good podcaster and I was writing mute, and I just turned the volume up way too high to compensate. I mean, like, the difference in a hotel rate isn't like between like $270 for a night. There's no way, because you're just I've never seen it. I've never seen a convention rate that was that much cheaper. Which convention was that, Don?
I don't
Magic
remember
Con?
it. I just remember that one year I was going to stay that night and leave the next morning. But in that one case, the convention rate did not cover Sunday night, and the room was $410, $415, somewhere more than $400 compared to the convention rate.
That may have been because they only had like a bigger room available,
or time of year.
It could have been. I mean,
that's the night that's in demand for that location.
Yeah, it's like I said. All my bot cons and all this stuff has all just runs together now. I can't separate.
Yeah, because
what happened at which one.
The first year we were in DC, I grabbed a room for that last night. Like after we had already checked out, I just decided to stay another day and grabbed another room, and it was not that big of a difference.
I mean, honestly, going to a convention, I would rather not do the convention rate because the difference in price isn't that big of a deal, and it more than makes it up in the price of like food. So like, if it's like $20, you're talking about like $50 what they would charge you for breakfast, because of the exorbitant rate they charge for that stuff. God, I'm hungry. I'm thinking about food now.
If you go to Waffle House, get me something.
I never go to Waffle House, Don. I don't know why. I go to Denny's now, since they're never busy.
There you go.
When I was picking up my Mega Construx figures at Walmart today, I saw the reissue Astro Train out.
Oh, I haven't seen one of those yet.
I haven't either.
Yeah, they had two of them on the shelves. I'm not sure how many come in a case, but I'm guessing they sold a couple. And it was marked.
I think they come in a box of two.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It was marked as $39.97, I think.
Yeah, it seems like only for the first couple days it was priced at $50, and then people started finding it down at $40.
Yeah, which I held it, and that toy is so small. Like, if it had been a $35 toy, I may have actually gotten it, but I even at $40, I just could not. So I sent it back.
The Walmart I stopped at this week all still had a bunch of Soundwaves and even some cassette packs. So I don't think.
Yeah, they restocked Soundwave too, and he's still at $50.
I was comparing my Astro Train, my G1 Astro Train, and my G1 Blitzwing, and even though Blitzwing is it's wider, but it's shorter, it's less long, but it just seems like much of a better figure than Astro Train does. Astro Train is just
Blitzwing seems like a much more substantial robot too.
Yeah,
Astro Train is tiny.
The one thing about Blitzwing though is, at least with my original one, even out of the box, the tail fins as the feet, they never support the weight of the figure because it's top heavy, and he always just fell over even when I got him out of the box.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's a perfect toy. It's just better than Astro Train.
Now I'm wishing I had picked up that 2-pack a while back with the safety Astro Train and the thrust color.
You know, if you look, you could probably still find that somewhere.
Yeah,
probably.
Cheap, I think nobody cared about that.
Yeah,
it's gonna be funny when we see Earthrise Megatron, and it turns out to just be a repeat of what they did in Titan's Return, and it's an obvious pre-tool for a new Blitzwing, so it has a nonsensical jet mode attached to it.
Yeah. Let's hope we don't.
See, I'm looking forward to what comes after Earthrise, because I'm hoping for a new Cyclonus at some point.
I mean, I really like the Cyclonus I have, which is the Unite Warriors one, because it's so pretty.
It's got really nice colors, and he's fine with my Unite Warrior stuff over there. But I'm looking at my Target Master shelf, and That 2008 Cyclonus, I love that 2008 Cyclonus, but it's time for an update.
It's very 2008, yes.
Yes.
That's the
Strafe.
shattered. Yeah, well, yeah, that's the shattered glass Cyclonus.
No, the shattered glass one was orange. That's
No,
Strafe.
yeah, this is Strafe. Yeah, the credit card version.
I hate that there are credit card exclusive Transformers, and I hate that I have to use the plural for that because there was more than one credit card exclusive Transformer. Thanks, Japan.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but I'm hoping for post Earthrise that we get into season 3 Euro G1. That's what I want to see. Since we didn't get Cybertron modes in,
And we still won't.
yeah,
I'm gonna show you something that hurts my heart. So, I mentioned on Twitter, I'm a member of that Arcade 1-Up mod community. One, I hate glowing buttons. I hate them so much. But somebody took the Turtles cabinet and they added the glowing buttons and a marquee, a lighted marquee. But it's like the Bay Turtles on the marquee.
Oh no!
Oh.
It's thankfully the comments are like, those aren't the Ninja Turtles.
See, I would have used Next Mutation.
Yeah, that would have been fine. But I absolutely hate the lighted buttons. This was a thing back in the days when they're like just standard main cabinets.
The green lit buttons could work for Ninja Turtles because the glowing mutagen
Yeah,
feel there.
yeah, but yeah, I just hate them. But everybody wants them.
Well, it's when you said that yesterday, Brian. I went to there's a local pizza. Our CC's here closed
That's what
last
they
year.
do.
Yeah, and another place
Still
opened
find them
up.
here.
Yeah, it's called Pizza My Heart, and it's a local chain of 2 locations right now.
Would you really call that a chain, though?
But they have really good pizza, and they've added a lot of the 1-Up cabinets to their game room, which is free play, obviously, because there's no
You
order
can't
slots.
charge for them.
I know, but I'm just saying all their games are part of the free play.
Well, they
And
could take those arcade cabinets and put them in their pay toilets.
Yeah, as someone who owns 3 of them, I like them, but in many ways they're really lame. And you would put them in a retail or an establishment in a week, all 3 will be broken, or all of them will be broken.
But I got to play the 1944, which was the sequel to the 1943 from Midway. I played Ghost and Goblins, I'll tell you, if you want to see how bad your skills have degraded since you were a teenager, early 20s, play Ghost and Goblins. You will become very depressed because my skills suck.
Oh no! See, I had that problem when we went to Galloping Ghost in 2015.
15.
Yeah, like it made all the muscles in my wrists hurt
Which game?
from button mashing.
Which game
Hey,
hurts?
guys.
Take care.
Don was playing Ghosts and Goblins, which sucks. I mean, I like Ghosts and Goblins, but it kind of sucks. It's just not. It's not an easy or a fun game.
No, it's just. I mean, I've never been great at it. I can never get past the thing with the ice bats and everything. But I was dying before I even got fighting the demon on the first level. It was like, jeez.
So 2 things. 1, it doesn't suck, and it shouldn't be easy because it came out in '87, so it should be hard. 2, Blade Raider points out that's not the Bay Turtles. That's fan art that is constantly stolen. It looks like Bay Turtles to me. Not saying it is. But it's to me, it's so close to what the Bay Turtles look like. I'm one of those terrible people that I really do prefer the 80s, 87, Turtles designs that go with the game. It's just weird to me.
The cool thing is they had the Marvel, the X-Men Children of the Atom, and the Marvel Superheroes, the first version. They had that one there, and I finally beat Marvel Superheroes. I got all the way. I beat Doom. I got to Thanos. That's the first time I've ever beat that game.
I mean,
So I had more trouble with Spider-Man than I did Thanos.
I didn't know as Matt was leaving.
Oh, I didn't think he was leaving on purpose. He just seemed to get up and go.
Oh, okay.
He usually says when he's going to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
wonder if it's a combination of getting up and the internet going out.
Probably.
Well, maybe the internet went because he got up.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Very sensitive, you know.
Oh, Brian, you bought that Mortal Kombat a couple of weeks ago.
Months ago, I donated it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at those little because I've got the Dig Dug version of those, which I love in the Wreck-It.
Mortal Kombat sucks.
But they've also got Spy Hunter out now, which I
saw.
hadn't seen
That's
before.
awesome. Yeah.
It's like that's tempting to get it.
It's a joystick though instead of a wheel. Wasn't the classic arcade game a wheel-based game, if I remember right?
Yeah.
No, was it, Brock? Because I thought it was.
Yeah,
matter of joystick.
Well,
I thought Road Blasters had the.
No, it had a wheel because Jeremy Parrish actually just released an NES Works today about Spy Hunter for the NES, and he was talking about the arcade version with a wheel.
Did you see that he's working at Limited Run Games now?
Yes, I did.
That makes perfect sense.
That's going to be interesting.
I mean,
yes, it does.
He lives in North Carolina, and I know the geography, so that's like within, it's close to his home. So it makes perfect sense that he would work for them. It's just weird to me, though, that he doesn't actually work in the, games press.
Yeah, I mean, I've read his website since before he did, but yeah, he's been there for, I think he said 16 years. Didn't realize it had been that long.
Wow.
What, with Toasty Frog?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't find him until 1UP.
I started back with Toasty Frog when he was doing an Evangelion parody. That's what how I found him.
Yeah, I guess for me it's been like 15 years. But yeah. Oh, let's see here. So it's not an easy or fun game, Blade Raider says, quoting me. That's why I don't like 90% of arcade and NES era games.
That's fair.
It is. I mean, I get, especially now, there's people get a real sense of, I don't want to say godhood, but it releases endorphins when you're like, all powerful and awesome and can do whatever. But I think back then, especially with like the limited scope of the hardware, it was easier to make things that you have to experience the same thing over and over and over again, than it would be to make something easy and then try to squeeze more into it so you get a longer play experience.
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much it. The difficulty means you get playtime through repetition, which means less development time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of the games.
ROM space.
Yeah, one of the games I played at the restaurant was Strider. I love
such
Strider.
A great game.
I am terrible at it now. I am
ever.
I mean, visually it's great. The music is great.
God, it's awesome.
But I am so horrible at Strider now. It's just all my skills are just gone.
I wanted that cabinet. I was crestfallen when Kim told me I shouldn't. She didn't say I couldn't. She told me I shouldn't buy it. It was $150, but I don't need it. And I can play it on the main bar top I have here beside of me easily.
Yeah. Well, I saw.
Thanks, Quintesson.
I saw at Target they had like a Neo Geo desktop that had like all the Samurai Showdown.
You mean the one that's roughly the size of those the Dig Dug you have?
No. This one's actually, the box is much bigger. So this is sort of like small coffee maker size is the way it looks on the box, or a little bit shorter than your, say like a $20 coffee maker, not quite that tall.
How much did it cost? Because I'm pretty sure it's the one that I have. That's
$99.99.
It's the same one. Don, I've got it. It's not much bigger than it's.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's not that much bigger. It's not.
Well,
I got it for like $50 at McKay's.
Yeah, because
you can plug external controllers into it and plug it into a TV, right?
Yeah, so it uses mini, not micro, mini HDMI. I literally just in the last couple of days got plugs for it because I moved to the basement and I got a controller for it too. The controllers, there's a port on each side, and it uses USB-C. So I don't know that you have to use their controllers for it, but I'm betting that you do. And how many USB-C controllers are there out there anyway? So,
because I love Samurai Showdown, the first one. Oh, I used Homaru. I was so good at it back in the day, except for Hanzo. Hanzo always gave me trouble, but I loved the first Samurai Showdown.
Rub my brains. Rub my brains. I just love saying that. I know that's not what he's saying, but it always sounds like rub my brains. I really love the Genesis version of that game made by Takara. Takara was the, they're the publisher. I don't know if they're the developer, but Takara published that on the Genesis.
I need to get my Genesis, my mini Genesis hooked up. I still haven't got it hooked. I've had it for 2-3 months. Still haven't got it hooked up.
It's really good. I had a fun time with the 8-year-old now, playing Sonic 2. She had a blast.
I want to dive into Altered Beast. That's one game I never could beat in the arcade. Was Altered
Don
Beast.
will set aside 5 minutes and just have all the fun you want to.
Rise from your grave.
Is that going to be in the Sega Arcade 1-Up? I think it is. They're doing an Arcade 1-Up of Sega games. I think it's Altered Beast with, oh gosh, my brain's not working.
Please don't say Karnoff.
Data East. No, it's not Sega.
Okay.
Golden Axe. That's the game. I can never remember the name. Golden Axe and some other stuff.
I love Golden Axe. I always played the dwarf with the axe. I would love
a Data East cabinet though with bad dudes. Actually, Bad Dudes is on the Karate Champ cabinet, I think, which is horrible because that has Burger Time on it, and it's Burger Time's a vertical game, and those are horizontal games, so it's gonna have to scale down. So yeah.
Well, I like Burger. It wasn't never one of my favorites, but I like Burger Time. Karate Champ, I was real hot or cold on. I did some days I would do really good, other days it's like.
So Don, on your Skype, can you see the video coming back from me?
Yeah, I see you.
Okay. Well, you see yourself, and you see Chris and Matt. Okay. So, and for people watching live, Burger Time is going to look like Chris and Matt together as one screen, because it's a vertical-based game. The horizontal games are going to look like Dawn with a black bar above and below.
So it'll have to cross planes to be played.
No, no. Just meaning it's a vertical-based game. So
okay.
Yeah. So it'll look correct up and down. Burger Time will, but any game that's not a vertical game like Karate Champ is going to have the letterboxing because
it's gonna be like that.
Yeah. Did Golden Axe, Shinobi on it, Wrestle Wars. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'd just have Shinobi, Revenge of Shinobi, honestly.
Shinobi was another one of those hard games that if you beat it, you could take a sense of accomplishment that you beat the sucker.
Altered Beast always gave me problems too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is that I got that on the Sega Mini that I need to get hooked up because that was just a game that I never got a chance to beat. Rolling Thunder, God, I love Rolling Thunder, but I can never beat it.
I'm a Rolling Thunder, pouring rain.
So, I mean, well, see, growing up when I did, arcade gaming was the thing.
Even for me, and I'm 10 years younger than you.
Yeah, that's why console gaming has never really, it's never really attracted me like, arcade. That's why these 1-up cabinets are so dangerous. It's the way I grew up playing games.
Don, what?
I miss the arcade experience.
Me too. Literally. Why don't you get yourself just like a standard main cabinet, Don? You can play everything on it.
Standard what?
A standard full-size arcade cabinet. Yeah, there you go. That's a good point.
Well, Brad, I didn't know what a podcatcher was, remember? Because I didn't know the terminology, so I just wasn't sure. See, because I just go to the website the podcasts are on and play it from the website. I don't.
Click the Amazon
Yep.
links too while you're there.
I think he does.
Yeah,
He tells everybody else to.
he does. Don's awesome. I love Don. Don, I give you so much crap, but you're awesome.
Yes, you do, but I appreciate the compliment.
It's true. Wouldn't give you crap if you weren't awesome.
You wouldn't be worth the time.
I don't know what he means by that, but I'm assuming that it was a positive comment.
Yeah, if we didn't care, you wouldn't be worth giving crap to.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I meant.
Yay!
You're worth spending mental energy on, Don.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
Rob Springer would like this. I'm still looking at that Arcade 1-Up group. Somebody made a full-size, not an Arcade 1-Up, but a full-size Splatterhouse cabinet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You know, one game I like to see them if they could get it.
Oh, it is Arcade
I
1-Up,
like the
everybody.
old RoboCop game. I like the old RoboCop.
Another Data East game, yeah. There's a lot of
That
Data
thing was
East games I want to
deafening.
see. What?
That thing was deafening.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, it was so loud.
one of my all-time favorite games is Breakthrough. Not the puzzle game that came out later, but the horizontal shooter, car shooter that it's kind of like not like bump and jump, but you're in a car that can jump and shoot.
Oh yeah,
I love
yeah.
that game. I would love to have an arcade cabinet of that game.
There's a place in Greensboro, North Carolina called the Lost Ark, and it's a model. They have a lot of Gundam stuff there. So if you're ever down this way, Chris, let me know and I'll tell you where it's at. But they have a arcade in the back where you spend $10 and you can play everything.
Did we
and
go
they got
there,
like
Don?
40. No, I don't think we did.
I'm pretty sure you and I went to somewhere in Greensboro when I went to the Greensboro Comic-Con or whatever that Acme did.
Yes, we did. That was their old location. Yes, we did go there because you saw several games you were tempted
Oh,
by.
yeah.
Yeah. I actually beat one of the games I could never beat there, Moonwalker, the Michael Jackson Moonwalker.
I don't like that game so much.
Well, this was more of just like I want to beat this thing when it's not eating all my quarters. Finally, and I went ahead and beat it. That was not a pun, honestly.
Huh. Don, you
But,
can't help yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, I was Data. Karnoff is one of my favorites. I mean, a bald
God, I
fat
can hear
guy.
the music right now when you die in Karnov. Bum, 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 bum.
Rygar, I think that was Data East as well.
No, Rygar was Jellico, I think.
Okay. It looked like it was
Tecmo, wasn't it?
Was it Tecmo? It was Tecmo, yeah.
I mean,
The arcade game is not that awesome. The
Yeah.
NES game is way better.
Yeah. It's like one of the cabinets has Defender on it, and I'm thinking, of all the games, Defender. I'm sorry, that's one game I never enjoyed.
It's really primitive.
Yeah.
Now, for a side scroller, Gradius. Oh, I love Gradius.
I love playing Gradius 3 on the SNES and all of the horrible slowdown that comes along with it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
you get too many enemies on the screen, it just sort of goes to a crawl and just till you
They
get
just
them
didn't know what they were doing with programming it at that point. And Nintendo, I think, they were the ones who basically knew the ins and outs of the hardware, which is why all the Nintendo games were good. And Gradius 3 was a launch title. At least in America it was.
One of my favorite games is I think it was a Data East. I may be wrong. It was Atomic Runner.
I don't know who made that one, Don. I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, it was set in the future, and it was one of those side scrollers where it kept pushing.
Right.
Well, it kept pushing you towards the right. You couldn't, it was one of those that just forces you to the right, and you couldn't backtrack. But you got like
I know that game. I recognize that.
Yeah, when you power up like the flails, you can just clear an entire screen with the enemy with just one swipe. I love Atomic Runner. I've got it on for my JVC XI. I've still got that.
That is so awesome. God, that just looks fun. I need to play that. So there's a Genesis version?
Yeah. Yep. There's because I picked that up at Buy Right Video Games of all places, which I'm sure you've heard about, Brian, up down in Raleigh.
Oh yeah, I got screwed. Is that the one that's a scammer?
Yeah, well, he's the one that had the Robotech game for the Super Famicom that I wanted to get at the time when I was down there for service merchandise.
They sold me a non-working Sega CD, and I think if I remember right, it was forever to get a refund on it. So I bought it through their eBay store.
Yeah, it was $75 for the Robotech Super Famicom game. And what they did to adapt it is they used a file and cut the sides out to make the notches for the US version. And it was $75. I finally got some money. I was going to go back and buy the thing. Because, again, this was a very hard game to get. And they had raised the price up to $149.99. And the guys, and I asked the guy, and I said, why is this now double the price? He said, oh, that's a new copy, and it costs us more to get it. I said, no, it's not, because the box has the same tag on it as it did 2 weeks ago. So unless you sold the game and didn't give them the box, that's the same game, and you've doubled the price. He said, well, that's what it costs now if we have to replace it. I said, okay. I walked out and never went back.
Don, your copy, if you're telling the story about that game, I apologize because I was looking this up. Your copy of Atomic Runner, do you have all the box and the paperwork for it?
I don't know. If I do, it's buried somewhere.
Well, it's just that game is considered rare. So if you ever had any interest in parting with it, you could sell it for at least a little bit. You could Donomics it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you went and picked up a Rainmaker set right now, and
it's rare enough. It's rare enough to where there are people who reprogram ROMs and make reproduction carts of it.
Oh, I did not. I thought it was just one of those small little forgotten niche games from the. Well, the
those are usually the ones that have value to them.
Yeah, I was about to say, if it's a forgotten game that's actually halfway good, then yeah, it's going to be valuable.
And there are people who are trying to complete like NES or Genesis or SNES libraries, and those are the ones that become like Family Stadium or Stadium Events is apparently not a rare game, but in the grand scheme of things, but it's expensive because it's rare enough that there are as many people who want to have a complete NES library as there are, or there's slightly more of those, and there are people who have it. So, Rob,
did you see anything good on GDQ this marathon?
I didn't get to watch too much. I was just I didn't get to really pay enough attention to see anything really great. So. Last I checked, they hadn't posted a lot of it to their YouTube yet. So
they got a lot more of it up now.
Okay, good, because I want to take a look. Yeah, I missed that, John. I wanted to take a look at that. But yeah, I did end up watching their like Super Metroid run, which is apparently some I think it's some hack of the game that was incredibly difficult. Yeah. Oh, randomizer, yeah. That and the Link to the Past randomizer, which was fascinating. Because they had this...
The Mario 64 randomizer was interesting, too, although I wish it would have been a single-player thing instead of a race, so I could actually get more out of seeing that for the first time.
Yeah. But yeah, the Link to the Past one was kind of interesting because they had this crowd control thing set up where people could donate to actually make the game harder, give or take various items from the guy, actually kill him outright if they wanted to.
Did you see the One Mind run of Super Mario World?
No, I missed that.
So what that was, it was two people playing the game with one controller. One was in charge of movement, the other was in charge of the jump and action buttons. And they had to just one mind because they had to be perfectly coordinated. But the the control swap. Oh no, it wasn't 2-on-1 controller. It was 2-player setup, and the control switched between them every other frame.
Oh wow!
What?
So that was an incentive. That's what they call one mind hard mode. Originally, it switches control every like 2 seconds. But yeah, so they had to be perfectly in. They had to be perfectly in sync to actually proceed, and they were having a lot of fun with it too. It's pretty short because they did it in like an any% style, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably up on the YouTube channel by now. So if you can find that, that's definitely worth taking a look at.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look.
The Mike Tyson Punch-Out was, as usual, a pretty good time.
That
one was 2 people on 1 controller, blindfolded as usual.
Okay, yeah. The fact that anybody can finish that game blindfolded is still amazing to me.
And then that was followed by a Terraria run where everything went wrong.
Wait, which game? Blindfolded?
Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
Yes, 2 players on 1 controller while blindfolded.
That's insane.
Yeah. It was pretty amazing. They made it look easy.
I couldn't beat King Hippo.
He's easy.
With my eyes open. Well, I couldn't get the pattern.
I mean,
down.
all of the characters are pretty easy in and of themselves, but it's just in sequence.
Yeah.
I
just couldn't get I couldn't time the right punches for his gut, and I just couldn't get the timing down. I mean that's the one thing about trying to go back and play some of these classic games is I see how bad my skills have deteriorated. The fact that it's been 30 years since I played some of these games, and it's like I'm old now. I can't play like I was in my teens and early 20s. I just don't. It's just not there anymore.
In my teens and early 20s, I can't play like I could when I was 8.
I was just never any good at any of these games.
But and that's the one thing about playing the arcade I like. You don't have this toxic culture. You don't see people arguing over arcades, and you just put your quarter up or whatever the case was back in the day. You don't have the. He's just like, well, you just throw your quarter up and play. I mean,
you
that's all.
Disco music or the. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not at the putt on the $5 all day. Play
you don't have to play online, Don. I don't for that very specific reason.
Yeah, well, it's also the fact that there's a lot of good single player games out there, but so many games are just either gutting the single player game in favor of your online. It's just, I don't know. It's just not as much fun as it used to be.
John has a good point.
I just finished Jedi Fallen Order, and that was a pretty good time. EA actually made a good Star Wars game.
Wow.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah. Well, considering the screw up after Battlefront 2 drug the Belgian authority...
Which was the screw up after Battlefront 1.
Yeah, but I mean as far as really drawing attention to the whole microtransaction thing.
Not a single microtransaction in Fallen Order.
I heard about that. It's like, I couldn't believe that. It's like, really?
John just pointed out that you might get punched in the face for throwing somebody in Street Fighter 2. So.
That's part of the game. Why would you?
People thought it was cheap.
Well, no. What's cheap is using Chun-Li and getting someone stuck in the corner and bird kicking them to death.
No, that's fine. Just don't throw.
Yeah, I would say throwing is cheaper.
You have to get close enough to them and to throw them. I mean, that takes strategy. It's the trapping people in the corner and bashing them with one move is far, far cheaper.
No, that's fine. Just don't throw.
I always hated the leg sweep in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I nearly got into a fight with well, I think my brother-in-law's little brother, I think it was. Yeah. For the corner trap leg sweep trick.
Oh.
That's why I play single player video games offline.
That's fair.
Well, I might have to bid on this.
What are you buying, Don?
I don't know. It's something I just stumbled across as soon as my mouse responds to the page. Come on.
He's not going to tell you because he doesn't want the competition, Brian.
Oh, that's fair.
No, I'm putting it in the. No, it's just sometimes when I switch windows, it takes a minute for the mouse to